We back. We back, baby. Yeah. How you doing, gamers? Welcome back to Press Start Season 14, Episode 1. You excited?
Episode 1?
Episode 1.
Oh, that means we back in it.
We back in it.
COVID, baby.
Come on, son,
hey.
Come on, I don't know you like that.
Don't tell my mother. Hey.
Don't tell my mother.
Oh.
Anyway, so we're back here at Press Start, and you know what we do. We talk about games all the time because we got no life.
That's true, I don't got free time.
Like, I was gonna say, what do you do like all day? Not a damn thing, I can tell you that right now.
I don't do anything. I play games, maybe a little homework here and there.
Right, of course.
Kids, don't listen to me. That's bad. But a little games here and there. Most games here and there. Most games here and there.
Don't lie. And then just a little homework. Priorities, you know?
Yeah, you know.
But speaking of priorities, you know, like some people start their day off with some news.
Oh, that's my priority too, some news.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I got some news over here too. Oh. But before we get to that, I need to show the sign real quick because I didn't show the sign.
Ooh, it lights up.
It does light up like a bar.
Hey.
But yeah, let's get into the news.
Let's get it.
Hey folks, welcome back to another season of Press Start.
A lot has happened since the break, so we have plenty to talk about this week.
First up, let's talk about the Gamestop short selling fiasco going on right now.
In case you haven't been on Twitter or seen the news already, some Redditors from the subreddit Wall Street Bets have coordinated an attempt to thwart billionaire hedge funds.
So, many financial experts were predicting that GameStop would dissolve in the upcoming year due to floundering sales. They were attempting to purchase stock when it was still somewhat high, then sell it for much less when GameStop was about to go out of business.
However, the folks at Reddit had a different idea. They decided to come together and purchase enormous amounts of stock to counter the short sellers, and now the GameStop stock has gone up exponentially, meaning that the short sellers and the hedge funds are losing money every day that this goes on for.
It also means GameStop is now a Fortune 500 company. Somehow, money isn't real.
Now, maybe they'll stop asking me to subscribe to Game Informer.
No. Never in a million years. GameStop will continue to sell you short on all of your used games for at least a little while longer.
Anyways, another big bit of recent news, Resident Evil dropped a demo and trailer for Village, the first original RE game since 7.
It's so scary. I can't wait. That's right. This time, instead of taking place in a southern house in a swamp, you'll be placed in a village in Eastern Europe in a video game Romania.
You know, we gotta mention it. The internet has gone wild over the so-called vampire lady, Lady D, who has captured the hearts of gamers the world over.
I mean, I'm not surprised. I mean, you see her? Like, can we?
How
can
tall?
We,
9'6"?
9'6". Like, can we just throw her on the green screen or something? Like, Anyway, gamers are fawning over the incredibly tall antagonist of the new game, speculating on her place in the lore and world of Resident Evil. Plus, some gamers just like a tall, powerful woman. That's on period.
Who can blame them? Moving on, in a bit of huge news that's flown a bit under the radar, Tencent Games, a Chinese conglomerate that now partly owns Fortnite, PUBG, League of Legends, and plenty of other huge game holdings, is planning on buying EA Games.
Damn. So essentially, the masters of using and abusing development studios is about to be bought out by a bigger publisher?
Yeah, there's always a bigger fish.
That's crazy. That there is. Anyway, in another bit of exciting news, Ubisoft and LucasArts have announced that they will be making a new story-driven Star Wars game.
Some have speculated that it'll be a Mandalorian game, or at least in that time frame and style. Still others are hopeful for a new Knights of the Old Republic. The developers are on record saying that it'll be a story-driven open-world game, so we'll see what comes of it.
In another bit of news related to Lucasfilms, we have the announcement of Bethesda making an Indiana Jones game. Todd Howard, the executive producer of many of Bethesda's biggest successes, is heading up production of this game.
They released a brief and vague teaser trailer on Twitter. It looks like it'll be based on the old classic Indiana Jones, but we'll see where it goes.
It's interesting to see the movie that inspired so many games like Uncharted, Tomb Raider, get a game developed by one of the most prolific studios around. Does this mean it'll be a classic Bethesda open world game? No one knows.
Anyways, that's about all we have time for this week. We hope everyone is doing well and is ready for a new semester.
See you guys next week. Peace. Those some nice news. Those some nice news, man.
I love the news, bro.
Me too. But only for game news. I don't really care for it.
You don't like the regular news?
Nah, because it's like just nah.
It's depressing.
I mean, it's news. What are they gonna do? Like 2,000 people got murdered today. Like,
I like the fluff pieces. I like those. Like
fluff pieces are nice.
Yeah, they'll be like, oh, Joe's Crab Shack in business now. I'm like, hey, I like crab.
I love seafood.
But
speaking of seafood,
what's up?
Sometimes I like to see food while I play my next gen games. Transitions.
That was bad.
But it's all right because we were discussing next gen games in this discussion. I said discussion already, but you know it's fine.
You discussed, right?
I discussed. Did you discuss?
I discussed.
That's crazy. We're both in it.
What you talk about? You talk about P5?
What do you thought I'd talk about? You thought I was talking about the crap box?
Whoa.
The fridge?
All right. We cannot, we can't hate on no systems. You know, the console war ended in like 06, all right?
It's like 13.
All right, 13, all right, that's fine. But, you know, we gotta end that, bro.
Nah, I still got hatred.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Press Start. Today we have a little special debate for you. It's gonna be more stable than any other debate we've seen in the past year. And we're gonna be talking about the next gen consoles. We're talking about the mini fridge, otherwise known as the Series X, and the Wi-Fi router, otherwise known as the PS5. We're gonna see which one people wanna get or why they prefer that console. They're both household appliances though. So on our left, as you can see over there, we have the Series X boys, and on our right we have the the PS5 boys.
Yeah, you better get it right.
The Series PS5.
How you doing?
Anyway, we're gonna ask them a bunch of questions, like 8 questions, and see what their thoughts are.
It's a lot of questions.
So,
8 questions?
Boys, with an I.
We're men, thank you.
Men, what console were you the most excited for and why?
I personally was most excited for the Series X because I've had Xboxes for like the past 3 different generations.
I understand.
I haven't had like the different variations of the generations. Like I haven't had like an Xbox One X or One S, but I've still had like an original Xbox, a 360, and a One. PlayStation I only had up to like PS3, and then I kind of stopped getting those.
Gotcha.
So.
See, I'm different. I've had literally the first game system I ever had was a PlayStation 2, and I never had a PS1, but I had a PS1 games because backward compatibility or whatnot. So I had the PS2, I had the PS3, the PS4, and once this whole scalper situation settles down, I'm gonna get the PS5. And once I get the money for it, because I'm big broke.
I was actually a PlayStation kid growing up as well. Yeah. It's just we also got a Xbox, and Xbox was a lot easier to get growing up as it continued than PlayStation.
Yeah, no, the only Microsoft I got is Windows on my laptop. That is it.
So you're completely PlayStation.
But
yeah,
Windows
PlayStation, Nintendo. That is it.
Except for Apple, because they don't like each other.
Well, yeah, that too. I got an iPhone.
Was there ever a moment when playing a game during this past generation where you thought, wow, now this is next gen? If so, when was it?
Ooh. I could tell you multiple times. When I was playing Uncharted, like at least like 3 times. When I was playing like Uncharted 4, I was like, oh my God, this, you see these graphics, this thing is amazing. Nothing could ever top it, And then they had like the little like DLC run. It was like Uncharted. Anyway, and it just looked really good. And I was like, oh, this is next gen. Or when the Spider-Man game came out in 2018, something like that. Like I was like, God damn, this thing looked good. Like, so yeah.
Personally, I don't play a lot of like console exclusives, mainly because also Xbox doesn't have a lot of console exclusives.
Trash.
Though a few games that I always thought were really good were Halo. Played every single Halo, except for like Wars, but that's a strategy game. Mainly like Halo 4. Halo 4 looked really good for the time, and it still looks good, really good now. And then when the Master Chief Collection came out, you saw the remastering of 2, and I mean, still to this day, I'm like, that remaster looks so good.
Right.
It like just the comparing like the original one and then the remaster, it's just fantastic. And the fact that you can switch between the two as well, like mid-game, and like there's no like lag or anything, it's fantastic.
I did see decent. Wow, I can't talk. I did see some gameplay on that. It did look clean. I ain't gonna hold you.
What were any other memorable moments you may have had during this past generation?
Honestly, I think I'm more of a fan of like more like unknown games, I guess. So like I play like Naruto Shinobi Striker, which that game has a lot of problems, but I don't know why. I'm in love with it, and I love it. And I don't know, just run around like a ninja, you know? That's definitely brings joy to my soul. And that's like, I don't know, every time I play it, like that's like the game I'm just like, oh my God, like finally I'm playing this, because it's a difficult struggle to get 4 people to try to play with me. Because they're like, oh no, I'd rather play 2K. I'm like, no, screw 2K, nah. Nobody trying to play ball. It's more like ninjas, come on, let's do this.
I just, over like quarantine, we did a lot of like me and Will and a bunch of other people would just hop in like one party on Xbox, and we do Halo 5 custom games and like Forge. And I just remember one day we were all roasting our friend Dakota, just like absolutely just the worst you could do. Everyone was piling on him, and then he got real mad and then very quiet, and then all of us had a laugh about it later. So that was pretty fun. Halo 5, Halo custom games in general always feel like a good, like, something you can remember for a while.
Yeah, no, I feel you, because I played Halo maybe like twice in my life, and I remember playing Halo. Like I was just like, oh yeah, I remember this. Like I know how to crouch. Like I could do that little thing. They don't knife. But what they do? They throw them shoulders, throw them bows.
Yeah. They'll hit you with the gun butt you.
But no, I understand it's a fun game. I wish I would have got more into Halo.
Yeah.
What was your favorite game of the past generation and why?
You know what? Sea of Thieves. Sea of Thieves is definitely my favorite game from the last generation, because it's just all exploring. You get like a group of 4 people together. You're all yelling at each other, pretending to be pirates. That's pretty fun. And then like the seconds where you're just like trying to manage holes and running around frantically and yelling at each other, I think that's just a real fun time.
I would say probably Spider-Man. I'm gonna stick to the exclusive. But you know, before playing Spider-Man, I didn't like Spider-Man at all, to be honest. I was just like, yeah, Far From Home, cool. And then was that the first movie or was that the second movie?
Homecoming was the first one.
Yeah, but yeah, I was like, oh, Homecoming, yeah, cool, you know.
Yeah.
And I played it later. I played it like maybe like 3 years when it came out. And then I didn't like it, and I was just like, yo, Spider-Man? Like I'm out here running up my house like. I felt like a little kid. Like the first like hour of the gameplay, I didn't do anything but swing around. That was it. Running up building and just diving off, and that to me, that's the perfect part of the game, where you're not even doing missions. That you just go off in the world and then just do whatever you want. So yeah. So that's what made me like, oh yeah, this the game right here. So that's probably where I had my most like fun playing.
What was your favorite song/soundtrack from any of the games in this past generation, and why was it Jump Up Superstar from Super Mario Odyssey?
It really was.
Yeah, that one was the fun one. Although I'd say I could name the one track for me. Now, yes, admittedly, the game originally didn't release on PS4, but I got to go with the execution tune from Danganronpa, from the Danganronpa series. Like, I don't like the way that it is. Like, it just sounds very like. Whenever it starts out, it seems like a very goofy, but very over-the-top theme. But the way when you see the executions in the game, they are very weird and very over-the-top to fit with the game. But also, I don't know for anyone that many people who played the game, but for me, anytime I hear that tune, it always kind of gives me like chills when it's like, oh great, something bad is gonna happen, which is what makes it such a good track for me. Especially with the fact that, like I said, it fits so well with every single time that they use it, especially in each of the game, since it appears in every single game thus far.
It's a really well. Now the only thing I can think of when I just said Odyssey was like every track in the Breath of the Wild soundtrack was also like a very solid, very atmospheric pick.
Yeah, like
Yeah, but not like there's no like one track that comes to mind, but like entire games, like I feel like the Watch Dogs soundtrack kind of like fit perfectly. Like the Breath of the Wild soundtrack was like the right amount of eerie and adventurous, like the Odyssey one.
Yeah.
It's just, so much fun.
Yeah, the Odyssey one is really good.
That's right, I'm the host now. It's confusing? Sure is. Are there any next-gen games that you guys are looking forward to? And if so, which ones?
Ladies first.
I guess I'll go first. As of next-gen games, I guess one that I'm definitely looking forward to is the Just Dance series, for the simple fact that I've just loved doing it in general. And if you ever want a challenge, you gotta go on the PS5 because of the simple fact that you go with the Switch, yeah, you can move your hands and cheat and sit on the couch, but when they have that full body tracker, you can't just, move half part. You have to do the whole thing, otherwise it'll count as a big fat 0. So that's one of them. I'm really hoping that they do maybe a Sly Cooper one.
I feel like Just Dance 5 is expecting a lot of us, but
oh yeah, definitely. But it's like, I don't know. I hope that they do another God of War one.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
All of that jazz. Love the Spider-Man series. All of that. Just a whole bunch to look forward to coming up.
I don't know, before the last God of War I would have been like maybe, but then the last one happened and it was so good, so I feel like they have to do another one now.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Ben, what about you?
After Googling the Xbox Series games list, because I actually haven't been paying attention, I have to say Halo Infinite is probably my best bet. I don't even really know what Halo Infinite's about.
Yeah, I got no idea.
Just like Master Chief and the fact that he's a war criminal, but he saved the galaxy, and it's still...
Wasn't that what 5 was about? Wasn't them hunting him down because he's a war criminal?
I don't know, I never finished 5.
Neither did I.
It was 5.
Was okay.
It was 5.
It was very okay. Thanks for tuning in, I guess.
There's one more question, Nolan.
Oh, there's one more question?
Yeah,
question that's right,
A.
the second question I have to ask you. How do you think this next generation will compare to the ones of the past?
Would you like to go this time, Ben?
I feel like it's... I'm gonna swear, so you're gonna have to censor this out, but I think it's literally just same different day.
Facts. I mean, facts.
Literally, like, what does the fridge got? I'm actually on the fridge's team right now. The fridge got specs. You got specs too. What's the difference? Am I right?
The fridge comes with soda?
The fridge
No,
does
just kidding.
not come with soda.
Every generation is pretty much the same product, and then it sure looks a little bit better than it did last time.
Except for the Series X, that thing looks like a mini fridge, and you look like a Wi-Fi router.
You're right, gotta get them signals, them routers.
Yeah, and
I can't believe we're the first people to make that joke. That's crazy.
yeah, we're not. And then the Switch is a toaster, and anytime you buy any of these consoles, you'll just end up bankrupt, not happy.
I
like this weird pessimistic end. Do you want to slap onto this one?
I mean,
it's
I
all
guess
meaningless anyways in the grand scheme of things.
My nose is slightly runny, and I'm a little upset about it.
That's okay, Ben. I'll pick it up. I'll pick it up for you. So me personally, I think it's more of like a aerodynamic, fit to it, because a lot of the problems with a lot of these consoles is when you've been playing them for so long, over time, the wear on them just makes them want to implode on itself because it gets too hot. Oh, yeah. But I feel like making the design how it is, it'll keep it from getting like super hot, especially since like you can't just pin it up against a wall and just hope for the best. It's actually got like some space to it, so that's a plus. Definitely it's gonna have more capabilities of having like better graphics. Like you can only count on the game, so if the game has really bad graphics, of course it's gonna look bad, but a lot of these games have like stepped up their graphics, so it's definitely gonna look like a lot better, more space because of the backwards compatibility and all that jazz. You gotta fit that into it. But I think overall it's just going to be like almost like a iOS update for these systems, but in a way it's gonna make it so that way it just runs better with less complications. Unless you blow smoke into it, don't do that.
That's all I got. Thanks for letting me host this last bit. How do you want this to end? Is this the last segment? Is this?
This is a segment.
This is a segment on Press Start. Stay tuned for further segments.
We did it.
Woo!
We did it.
I like this. What is this? What are you doing? This was from Joe's Crab Shack. You feel me?
Joe's Crab Shack?
Yeah.
Okay.
This the.
That's that lobster?
This is number 6 right here.
That's the number 6. Yeah. But yeah, I like the discussion that we had before.
Oh, I love that discussion. I like your take on the P5.
It's what I do. PlayStation Nation to the day I die. Except for Nintendo.
You know what we got? Ooh, COVID.
COVID, my guy. But anyway, speaking of COVID, like we're in a plague. But you know what's worse than COVID?
What's up?
Zombies.
Oh, I don't like zombies.
I don't like zombies. Honestly, if I was in a zombie world, I'd probably off myself because I'm not gonna get eaten. No. Are you gonna deal with that?
You know, I'd rather drown, rather burn. I don't know if I could get eaten.
Nah, alive.
Alive?
Like they don't kill you first. No, they just snack on you while you just watching them.
No seasoning?
No seasoning.
Oh man, I don't know.
No
man.
garlic, no nothing.
But
They eat your butt too.
But you want to learn more about zombies? I know we don't like them, but we could learn more.
We could, because Mike, he went there as a gaming tourist.
Is that Mike? He definitely bulked up a little bit.
He did. You know, he got the 5 o'clock shadow now.
I see you, Mike.
You know, he's 27 or turning 27.
He look good.
He looked good. You know, if I look like that at 27,
All right, well, Mike, let's get it into
let's get it in.
Happy holidays, everyone. With the holiday season around the corner, I thought I should do a special gaming tourist covering one of the most festive places possible, Willamette, Colorado. A lot of you might be confused because Colorado is known for being a desert. But after this, you will see just how festive this area is. So get ready to chop till you drop as we discuss Willamette, Colorado. Welcome to Willamette, Colorado. With the population of 53,594, this is not a large area. That doesn't stop it from being an expansive environment to explore. The town is comprised of 3 sections. There is North Peak, West Ridge, and Old Town. West Ridge is a rural area comprised of farming, a collection of houses, a yoga studio, and a cafe. That's also where your kids can go to school and pick up your tree in the process. North Peak is the party area. This is where the nightclubs, the pool house, and the local radio station WLD Country Radio resides. I also heard rumors that Santa moved his workshop into this area as well. So don't forget to stop by and say hi for me. Old Town is the main section of the area. This is where most of the shops, restaurants, and other recreations are. This is also where the town hall, firehouse, taxi service, a park, and, I kid you not, a karate dojo is. There are also so many things there that I can't name them all, like the camera studio or the comic store. So instead, let's get to the main reason people come to Willamette, the mall. Built back in 2003, the Willamette Parkway Mall is the biggest attraction in all of Willamette, with a total of 27 storefronts, a movie theater with 5 different screens, and a massive food court. This place was something to behold. The place was big enough that it even contained an entire roller coaster inside it. As time went on, they decided to demolish the mall and upgrade it further. This is what is known as the Willamette Memorial Megaplex. This one was even more grand than the previous location. It got so big, they had to separate the different sections of the mall based on the stores it contained. The Amazon food court is, well, a food court. Medieval Times is where the old time and some modern stores reside. This ranged from Ye Old Toy Barn, Beast Beats Guitar and Music Company, and Chick Magnet. The Miami Boardwalk is where you can get the newest styles and trendy designs. Caribbean Cove is the entertainment place where you can get your sports supplies. Kichiro Plaza is where you can get your fix on Japanese culture. Then it all combines at the Central Plaza where the North Pole and its workshop resides. Doesn't this place just ooze Christmas spirit? Well, I'll just leave this here. I'll see you all on the next episode of the Gaming Tours. Merry Christmas and happy...
Mike, you know it's February, right?
What are you talking about? It's clearly Christmas. I mean, how could you not see it?
Mike, you need to calm down.
Calm down? How could I calm down when people are lying to me
Mike's
about
losing his mind again. Calm him down.
Well, thank you for totally introducing me, Mateo Brothers. It's me, Gage Terrace, and I'm here on location in Windhelm, snowy, cold Windhelm in northeastern Skyrim. And it's been a pretty dramatic past couple of days here in the Windy City. There's been some political unrest. There seems to be some civil disobedience. As you can see in the background here, we have supporters of a known populist, Ulfric Stormcloak, known right-wing populists, and they appear to be, it looks like they're trying to get into the keep where the Jarl of Windhelm presides, and just so you're aware, folks, Ulfric is a known supporter of the worship of Talos, which, as many of you may know, was outlawed by the White Gold Concordant. Just earlier this year, he marched into Markarth in western Skyrim to reinstate the worship of Talos, but was detained along with many of his supporters. It appears that they are back in strength here in Windhelm. He is determined, as we know, along with his supporters. What we want to know at Press Start is why are there so few Imperial guards defending the hold? There appear to be only about 4 or 5 guards standing at the door, and it looks like they're just getting rid of the red sashes in favor of the blue ones. It looks like they are shifting sides over to the Stormcloaks. It appears that some of the guards are joining the Stormcloaks. That's you heard it here first, folks. Yes, sir. It looks like the guards certainly are on the side of Ulfric's Stormcloak. This isn't exactly a shocking development, as most of you may know. About 85% of the guards here in Windhelm are actually supporters of the worship of Talos, so I don't know what we expected, making them guards of the Imperial Palace. Again, we see here that the Stormcloaks are staging an insurrection, as you can see behind me. Yep, we are just now getting reports that the scribes and the court magicians are being moved to new locations, and that looks like, that there goes a man in a bear hat. That is the supposed Talos shaman known as T. Anon. Let's get closer and see if we can get a word from Mr. T. Anon over here. So, folks, here I am with a Nord here who was at the rally earlier today in favor of the Stormcloaks. So what do you have to say about the actions taken today by the supporters?
Well, I gotta say, I'm not in support of the storming of the keep. I'm just here to vocalize my distress and at seeing Talos robbed from us.
Yeah, you think Talos has been robbed from the Nords of Skyrim?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think it just wasn't fair, and we need to fight back. We need to take a stand against this.
I see. So you're saying that you don't support the storming of the palace here in Windhelm?
No, absolutely not. I think those aren't real Stormcloaks. They're just Imperials in disguise. And
so you're telling me that you don't support the storming that's happening right here in Windhelm?
No, absolutely not. I think those aren't real Stormcloaks. They're just Imperials in disguise, trying to discredit us true Talos worshippers. A real Stormcloak would quietly participate in democracy.
I see. So you're saying that those aren't real Stormcloaks that are storming the capital. I see what you're saying. So you're telling me that these rioters aren't real Stormcloaks?
One of them was a dark elf, so I think it's all fake. Dark illusion, magic, all that good stuff.
Oh, I see what direction you're going with this. Well, that was quite the enlightening interview with one of the supposed supporters of democracy and Talos worship here in Windhelm. Wait, hold on a minute. I just got word from our sources. Yeah, that's correct. We have word from our sources that the Stormcloaks are looting the keep. I'm seeing evidence of that right now. I'm seeing citizens leaving the keep with mismatched sets of armor, swords, and I think that's an alchemy table. Yeah, they're definitely just storming the keep and they're taking the property. I think I see some of the guards participating in the storming as well and looting. Wait, this just in. My goodness, it appears that Ulfric Stormcloak has just shouted to death the Jarl of Windhelm. Yes, that's right. You heard right, folks. Ulfric Stormcloak has just shouted down the Jarl of Windhelm, thereby making him the next Jarl of Windhelm. We are witnessing an insurrection in Windhelm, the likes of which we have never seen in Skyrim. That's right, the Stormcloaks now have a physical foothold and have taken complete control over one of our
capitals of the province. Yes, sir, it seems that things have taken a turn for the worse here in Windhelm. Doesn't look like the citizens of Skyrim can expect the 2,000 gold stimulus anytime soon. I need to take some time and get to a safer location, so back to you.
You know, this has been a fun episode.
It has been fun.
Honestly, this is probably like the best pilot we've done because, like, I mean, not to be biased because we're hosting it, you know.
I mean, this is the only one that we have done.
Yeah,
This is true. But
that's why it's the best.
also, Monopoly. That was kind of fun.
It was very fun.
You know, I'm not to brag about my wallet.
Oh,
right?
do that again in slow
I got
motion. Show the camera.
One more time for you.
One more
There
time.
You go. Let me look at
Nice.
my debit card. Don't look at the numbers. No money in there, by the way.
Yeah.
But I lost it all in Monopoly.
Yeah, because like we play it for keeps. That's
And
it.
sadly, I lost. But with all losing comes an end. This is the end of
The press start.
the press start.
Episode 1.
Episode 1 on the
Season
books.
14. We are in season 14.
That's 14 seasons.
14 seasons.
I wasn't even in school.
That's a fact.
Woo!
I joined last year. Crazy.
All right, let's get out of here. Clap me up.
Clap me up.
Enjoy yourself.
Enjoy yourself. Have a good weekend.
I'm
You guys are
Rodney.
great. Tip your waitresses.
Don't tip them too much.
No, tip them a lot. They deserve it.
I'm a bit broke.
COVID.
COVID.